What's going on, guys? KG here from the Football Capital with my partner in crime, Borche. Borche, how you doing?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I'm hearing a little murmurs. What's going on, Kev?
Mate,
I thought the A-League was on a bit of a break, but...
We thought it was on holidays for 4 weeks, but you know what? If you thought the A-League was on holidays and if you thought the drama from the Sydney Derby was over, I can tell you were wrong.
Yeah, well...
There's big news.
KG, what's going on, mate? What's going on?
Listen, man.
You know what? I've got a bit of a leaky roof here from the rain from the studio. Ronaldo's complaining about the leaky roofs in Old Trafford, and there's a bit of a leak in the Allianz.
There's a big leak, and
there's a big leak in the Allianz. What's going on here?
Listen, look, you know what? All's not smooth sailing over at Sydney FC. It was a big week. We know the derby was a big week, and we know that there was a lot of coverage and the story. Even A-League did the whole A-League access stuff around Miloš Ninković.
Yeah,
and he was enemy number one. Let's just say
and two and possibly three,
and 3 and 4, and he had a lot to say during that week, and so did a few others.
Yep.
But Borch, man, I'm going to read verbatim here.
So this is the leak that's come out. And
this is the leak, and this is the message that I received
from good sources,
from some very reliable sources. This is what I received earlier today. Someone within Sydney FC's backroom staff has leaked information that Sydney FC and Steve Corica are suing Miloš Ninković for defamation after comments leading up to the derby. That's fucking massive.
Wow.
Like, for me,
wow.
if you thought it was put to bed after the game,
yeah,
let's just light another fire.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And like the thing is, you're talking about defamation. I wonder what it is that what quotes or what he actually said. Was it the whole thing about him leaving the club that wasn't true?
Just for our viewers, like defamation, the definition of defamation is the action of damaging a good reputation of someone. So, that's a pretty big call, because let's just say all the parties involved during that week had a bit to say.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Miloš, if that's the case, if they're actually looking to try and sue him. It was a pretty big week. A lot was said. A lot of actions were taken by even Sydney FC. And you touched on it on our last episode around the whole lolly bags. If you want to elaborate a little bit on that one.
Yeah, obviously, Lolly is their new number 10. Miloš Ninković was their former number 10, and it was to recycle his jerseys. And you saw the clips in that All Access where kids are throwing their Miloš Ninković jerseys in that box there.
Yep.
And it was pretty much
Some fans even tried to burn his actual jersey.
I think they actually did.
Yep.
Obviously the tifo, we love to see tifos in the A-League. Obviously the burning shirt in that as well. Look, the fans have the right to think or feel however they want about the whole situation. But in terms of this, bro, it's interesting to know what comments, he says damaging, what was it? Damaging
the good reputation of
someone. So it's interesting to see what comments Corica or someone from Sydney FC, if he's talking about the club itself, I look at it and maybe the comments, because the Rbtv's interview with Ninković, for me, there's a lot of things that was new. For me, a lot of the stuff was breaking news.
It was very raw. It was
in terms of obviously I'm a Perth Glory supporter, so I don't really dabble into the breaking news and the behind the scenes stuff of the other clubs. But hearing the reasons why Ninković, or they didn't give him the contract that he wanted, and the reasons that they were giving him in terms of the whole visa or citizenship
status, yep.
and all that sort of stuff. It's a bit, you know what I'm saying? Maybe stuff like that Sydney FC didn't want out. I don't know if that's that kind of comment,
I mean,
by that definition there, but
it's kind of difficult, right? Because from what I know about that particular interview, obviously I do jump on the show every now and then. And what I do know from that interview is that Miloš asked if that interview was going to be live, because I think he felt, and this is only my opinion, this is not his, but I think he felt that during the day he was doing his press stuff. On the same day, he was doing a lot of his press stuff, which is also in the A-League All Access episode. He did all the press stuff, but all the press stuff could have been edited. So he specifically asked the boys from RBTV whether or not the episode was live to ensure that whatever message he was putting into the microphone and saying and speaking was not going to be edited. It was the raw version. I think that's really important for anyone who can go back and watch that episode. And I've obviously watched it a fair few times. It's really interesting, but again, I don't really see anything that's defaming anyone. I don't like. Maybe his relationship with Steve Corica wasn't strong. We've seen players come out and say that in the past.
Yeah, 100%.
About other managers.
And to the fact that they're suing, do you know what I mean? It's like you wouldn't think it's from the comments that he made when they said they gave him the contract, but they didn't because there was all these about the whole citizenship. You have to do this if we were to give you a new contract. So and remember that video he put out on Instagram where he's just
correct
the one he
announced he was leaving.
The one he was leaving.
Yep.
I don't think it's anything from that interview, because then why wait this long? Why wait till he signs for the Wanderers? Because then he didn't. I don't think there was any. All right, rumors maybe, but
maybe there was talks, but there was.
That was like literally that day. No one really knew what was happening or what club he was going to. Whether he was going back to overseas or play for another. It was news to me that he was going to go to Newcastle before Sydney FC.
Correct.
Right. So you never know. That could have been an option for him as well. So I don't know. I don't think anything from that clip is what they're referring to. It has to be something that was said maybe on RBTV or even, like you said, in that press with Corica, because you see Corica's face throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, he's not happy.
He's not happy about something.
So
he's now called him the enemy, and so
because Miloš said, I think I still deserve some respect.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. He did a fair bit at Sydney FC, and he's never spoken ill of the fans.
Yeah.
He's tried to clear that up as much as he could. If anything, Corica's called him the enemy, like you said, at that presser. Like he literally calls him the enemy. So other than asking for a bit of respect from Stevie Corica, I don't know whether or not it's the RBTV interview where he actually goes into the conversation that he had with Stevie while they were overseas in the Champions League.
That's right, yeah.
But
I kept delaying it. Oh, we'll let you know. But then I think I can't remember who else he mentioned in that. It was only two people in the whole team, in the whole group that didn't know.
It was him and Alex Wilkinson.
That's right, yeah. They didn't know their place, and everyone else knew whether they were staying or going. And these guys were on the sidelines. Like, hey, I gotta go. Miloš said he had to go play for the All Stars.
All Stars.
So he's going to camp. Then he was going on holidays or whatever it might be. And he goes, I need to sort out my future. So if you want to talk about respect and all that, maybe then and there should have been given a little bit more to him. In terms of the whole enemy comment, I don't think that's bad. Like. It is what it is.
It's theatrics.
That's right.
It is.
That's
part
right.
of the game. Right?
He also dropped a few comments in that presser, in terms of just things like you said with the fans that and look, and this is why I believe a lot of the stuff that he said with the visa. So if that's what they're looking at, if you're looking at the stuff that he said with the visa, maybe the citizenship that the club didn't want out, or the conversations maybe between him and Corica that he didn't want out. If they're saying that they're not true, if that's what they're kind of maybe trying to sue for, I don't know if I believe them, bro. Because I think his tone and voice, the way he's saying it. You saw in the all access thing, his wife talking about the situation. You don't see why he would lie about something, especially when he would have no other motive to leave. And even though he's at the Wanderers. He even says that he's not afraid to say himself that he wanted to stay at Sydney FC. He wanted to do another year there. He said he's still going to keep their jerseys and the trophies and all the photos and all that sort of stuff. So
they're all accolades from his career.
Exactly right. So I don't know where or what part. And guys, let us know in the comments where if you guys haven't seen the RBTV. The full hour interview. I know there's a clip that's on the all access stuff, but if you go on RBTV, they got the whole interview. They talk about
They talk
about a lot of things, and let us know, what do you guys think they're talking about in or what they're looking to sue for. What this
defamation would be
about. What do you think, bro? Because I don't like.
I can't pick it, boy. Like
or is it just we couldn't beat them off the field? So let's try. No, we couldn't beat them on the field. Let's try beat them off the field. I don't know what it is.
Even in last week's RBTV episode, which I was on with the boys, we sort of said the story's now put to bed. Like the whole lead up with Ninković and obviously the first derby, and regardless of the result, like, it's now done. It's done.
Yeah.
The A-League goes on break for a month. I mean, yeah, like the RBB and the Wanderers fans and even RBTV, yeah, we celebrated for a good 8-9 days because, it was a big one for us. But I think it's done. It's done and dusted. But this just goes, okay, well, hang on. If we thought the story was over, hell no, it's not over. And to sue Miloš Ninković for defamation is a pretty tough one, man, because I don't imagine too many other people. Like, if you think about maybe Mark Rudin, right? Or even Western Sydney Wanderers as a club, they would have made comments as well at some point during that week. And I think some of it is for the entertainment purposes.
Come on.
Because Rudin clearly said it in his post-match.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, that fist pump that I did in front of the Sydney FC bench when we scored, boy, we know we're in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
So where do you cut the line? Where do you cut the line?
The thing is, not also where do you cut the line. Where does freedom of speech get thrown into this?
Yeah.
Does that matter? Is there certain things they can't say? If it was something to do with the presser, they would have edited out. In my opinion, they could have.
Yeah.
If there's something that he said, maybe Corica goes, that I didn't want it out. Can we cut? Regardless of
whatever happens,
whatever happened there, they could have done that. Corica could have, or Sydney FC, matter of fact, could have actually said something to cut that bit out. What he said, we don't want that as a club. We don't want that released. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
So that's why I think it has to be something from that RBTV interview.
That's the only one that wasn't edited, right?
That's the only one.
I keep thinking back, like, I mean, look, he talks a little bit about his career. We know that. He speaks about, obviously going to Newcastle before joining Sydney. That was a big one, right? It wouldn't have been anything in there. Then they start talking about, obviously, how the conversation came into play about him potentially coming to the Wanderers, and it was because, his contract was coming to an end. But again, like, unless those conversations weren't true around the conversations he had with Corica and all that kind of stuff, I don't know. Like, I think if you're talking about defamation, right? Like the actual purpose of why they want to try and sue him, whose reputation has been damaged? From a Sydney FC point of view, if what he said is true around his contract, they've got no leg to stand on. Same with Corica. Right, he wouldn't have a leg to stand on. So if, other than that, Corica's reputation, I think it's just hit a bell. Right. The only comment that I think may have maybe sparked something like this, and I could be wrong, so get in the comments if I am, is I think in one of the interviews, and I think it was the RBTV interview, Miloš Ninković says, I had a conversation with. I don't know what nickname he used for Corica. He goes, we know that you've got 5 games at the start of next season, and if you don't get the results, you're gone.
Okay.
So he says something along those lines. Maybe we can clip it up and put it in. But I think that might be the only thing that would come close to defamation. But even then, I don't think maybe it's something that people didn't want public knowledge. Yeah. That's probably the only piece. But even then, he might be only speaking from experience. I don't think somebody at the top at Sydney FC would have said to Miloš Ninković, hey, he's got 5 games.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I think even with Corica, before even the season started, the back end of last season, we all know how they finished. It's no secret how that turned out.
Exactly.
They still haven't won a game at their new stadium. How many games have they won? One? Is it one game they've won this season?
They've won 2, I think.
2
they're on 7 points.
2 away, yeah. MacArthur and the other one, I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, so even their away form hasn't been the best as well, even with the 2 wins or whatever. The home form as well is kind of the home form, especially a new stadium and all that.
Well, they lost to Victory, drew with Adelaide, lost to the Wanderers.
Drew with Adelaide with 10 men. And
correct.
They scored first as well. So Adelaide came back to draw that one.
That's right. Yeah.
So if something like that, the 5 games, how many games have we played? 5? Maybe
6 now.
6 now?
Yeah.
So maybe.
It took a while there. I had to click over. I was 6. Round 6.
So maybe look, Corica's maybe in a position where he could be out of potentially You know, potentially, you know how football works. You don't get the results. See you later. And he could be in a potential situation where his neck would be on the line, bro. And he's now coming out with this to maybe buy him some time, maybe, or. But I don't even know. Let's be honest, but like let's be honest. Like if something bad was said during this whole time, come on, the stuff that the A-League posted. Right, like the stuff that both clubs went back and forth. Yeah. The Cove, the RBB back and forth. Do you know what I mean?
The Tifo alone,
right? And they had to get approval.
And all the right. And you'd imagine like they've cut his name out of the jersey in the Tifo,
flames,
and it's on fire. And they had 3 caricatures which were poorly drawn in Banana's opinion. But the
garlic.
Maybe
it's Banana that they're trying to sue.
That's who it is.
Maybe they're trying to sue Banana because he's called him a fucking garlic.
Banana's rewriting the lyrics to all the chants.
I heard.
But no, like it is. I think the theatrics of a derby. They always come into play.
Yeah.
And I think the media would have pushed it. We pushed it. Everyone pushed it. But we knew as soon as it was over, right? It's like, hey, you can't keep playing the whole
until next time.
Until next time. But for this to come out now, look, we don't know. It may have been in the works, right?
Exactly.
But this has only just got leaked now. I think it's pretty poor form because it's gonna shut people up. You know, in future, it's gonna shut people up.
Yeah.
And all the work that everyone, including podcasters, including, you know, Paramount Plus, everything, to get interviews with players and all that kind of stuff, they're going to be scared to do interviews now.
Yeah, in case
something like this happens again.
No one wants to get sued, especially big clubs. You look at big clubs like Sydney FC, that, you know, they'll have the backing and they'll have the proper lawyers and resources and all that. And like you look at, you know, everyone was trying to, you know, criticize Paramount last season about the coverage and all that, and you look at it this year, it's getting a lot better. This all access, it's all uncensored as well.
Yeah.
You watched the last one with the derby.
Rudin said fuck about 86 times. In his
mate,
speech.
True wog. Fucking.
Fucking.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You got the RBB, their chance. Fuck off, CFC.
Yeah.
The same with the Cove.
Yeah.
The swear words are in there. Very uncensored, very raw is what the people want to see.
Yep.
Now, if you're going to, defamation for the fans because of the chance that they're throwing out there, the line has got to be drawn somewhere. And the fact is where the only thing that made headlines on that weekend was Channel 9 trying to get their name up again. Poor attempt. I mentioned this in a few comments. My favorite part in the whole Channel 9 thing. No, not the B bottle. When the lady said Western Sydney Wanderers scored a late winner, 69th minute or 69th minute late winner. So it just shows how much they understand of football, anyways. But
or the reference to the FFA.
FFA. But and this is what I mean. Like, I think that's the only negative from that weekend. But other than that, I don't know what Corica and Sydney FC are trying to sue. Are you guys now upset because Ninković did play the ball that ended up getting the goal?
But it's got to be petty stuff.
It is. It's exactly
true,
that.
If it's true, it's got to be petty stuff. Because I think, like I've been saying, up until say mid this week that just went by, it was good to live it up until Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it was like, okay, well now it's over. We got a World Cup to look forward to, and we've you've done some coverage on that as well, so check that out on the channel.
100%.
And obviously the whole Ronaldo thing that happened, and we've got a couple episodes on that as well.
This is another one. Maybe Corica comes and does a whole tell-all.
Maybe he wants to take the spotlight from Ronaldo.
Maybe look, Rbtv got Miloš in. Maybe we get Corica to sit on the couch and he can.
I'm gonna say something. I'll show you something afterwards.
Here we go.
I saw Stevie Corica last night.
Here we go.
I seen him at the on the couch in the sports bar. He did not look happy. He did not look happy.
He's just taking L's.
He was not a happy chap, mate.
He's probably got told the news that he's not coming back.
Either that or he's there's a countersuit on him or something. There's something happening.
Guys, look, let us know, Kev. So there is some breaking news here.
Love to get everyone's perspective.
Yeah, exactly right. Let us know what you think.
Something. We could have missed something.
There could be something in that interview. Might see. This could be a bit of a tactic by RBTV. Now we have to go back and rewatch the pod.
Rewatch it, views, get
Why
them
not?
up.
Why not?
And yeah, look, they obviously that episode aired and it's done really well. But I think credit to them and credit to everyone who's getting ex-players on the show. Like we've done it with Broski, and I know Marty the Mariner's doing it as well. Everyone just keep pushing, like the content's coming, and we want to be able to get access to these people, but we're not going to be able to do it if they're going to be under this
Defamation
cloud.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a really tough gig.
It'll be good to hear. Even the RBTV boys, you know, maybe after they watch this, they can have their say on the situation. I'm pretty sure they'll have an opinion on it as well. Maybe they can figure out what was said in their own pod, where they think Sydney FC and Corica are looking to sue Ninković for. But we've got to wait and see now, Kev. We've got to wait and see.
Well, you know what? I would, if they need to reach out to us, maybe if there's somebody from Sydney FC that wants to clarify the story or get the story clear, we're happy to get somebody on the channel and have a chat through it. But yeah, if you want to clear up this whole situation. And Western Sydney Wanderers, we're going to tag you just in case you didn't know it was coming.
Yeah.
We're gonna,
to get ready.
We're going to break the news to you.
To get ready.
We're going to break the news to you. But yeah, it's a massive one. The A-League hasn't stopped.
Yep.
We're looking forward to it. And obviously there's World Cup action, so we'll be doing a lot of that as well.
When's the next derby, Kev? Because they might have to put...
It's in
Ninković, Atifo Ninković with the citizenship up there,
maybe citizenship
bag of lollies over his shoulder as well. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, not bad, huh? We should get you in touch with the Tifo guys.
I'm telling you, the Wanderers missed out on me. They could have caught me early, but I had to stick with Perth.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. We've got our Perth correspondent here. But
I can always freelance.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
we're always available.
Listen,
Wanderers, MacArthur.
if I can get in at MacArthur, if they let me in.
We'll see how that goes. But yeah, look, breaking news, guys. If you missed it, Sydney FC, Steve Corica.
Read the quote before we go once more, Kev. Have you got that?
The leak. Quote, yeah.
Sorry,
I've got it here.
Just before we go.
I'll get it up for you here. So someone within the Sydney FC's backroom staff has leaked information that Sydney FC and Steve Corica are suing Miloš Ninković for defamation after comments leading up to the derby. So it was everything prior to the derby actually being played. Right, so go fish around through all that.
Exactly.
Good luck.
Exactly. Good luck.
But Borch, look, thanks for jumping on. Obviously, it's big news. Let's see how it goes. We'll do a bit of a follow-up as soon as we get a little bit more information. But guys, as always, get in the comments. Tell us what you think. And until the next one, like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you soon.
Take it easy.